Hello, hello, hello. Uh, it's taken a while to get this video together, but finally it's ready. Uh, so first off, I'm starting off going back to No Man's War, since my friend who I was playing with at this time hadn't found No Man's Wharf at this point, and he made his way here and was going through it with a Phantom, and he found a handful of secrets that I'd completely missed. So essentially, going back now, we're going to go and find the secrets that he found, and he's basically giving me directions. So, you know, I'm still pretty sure that we didn't find all of the secrets in this area. For one thing, I'm pretty sure that I didn't figure out how to open some of the secret doors that were missed until later. So, but there was a few things that were missed that I went for. So, going through here without trying to aggro those guys. So, you know, they're happily sleeping, there's no need to fight them. So yeah, all the way through to, all the way through to I also very much to kill off most of my enemies. So, it was quite interesting considering I hadn't made it here yet. I was surprised, but apparently how it went was similar to me. We saw the giant stone warriors and went, maybe not. The difference was though he hadn't come back and he was still fighting the Lost Sinner as well as as was I, and since we were both struggling to kill it, I just mentioned that, oh, by the way, there's also this other area, and we went and came here. So yeah, so what we were doing, as I said, I know, and now being careful to try and break these pots so that they don't cause any trouble without poisoning myself, although really I didn't need to. I just wanted to be safe. So as you can see, there's a message on the floor there. As you may have guessed, that's where the hidden wall is. So, hence why I said I don't really need to break these pots, since I'm not at a risk of hitting them whilst I do that. This is all that get in the way, and that isn't really. Kill the Titanite, crystal lizard, get the shards from it, and get a bunch of fading souls that aren't worth anything. It's like they give you so many fading souls. I'm pretty sure they added them because, what item can we give that's not rubbish, that will justify sticking up a bunch of items to make people explore, and then find out that what they've got is actually worthless. So yes, so that was the first item. I think there was also another item that I missed, which I went back to get. He's guiding me through. So yeah, there's a hidden door there. However, instead of attacking it, what they've done in this game is there are some hidden doors that you have to interact with that just don't show the interact button. So it's rather interesting, actually, since obviously it meant that beforehand you'd go just hitting every wall until you found a hidden wall. This time you actually have to interact with it, so pressing A, decided to leave a message to try and just let people know it's there since the other message vanished. Yeah, it's a bit of time for me writing out the message. I was trying to find a suitable thing to say, you know, to be wary of the Titanite, the crystal lizard. keep wanting to call them Titanite bugs. But yeah, basically because I've found I've missed an awful lot of them in my other playthroughs since in this one it was fine. In other ones I struggled a bit with killing them because every time I'd go after them, they'd run away before I'd be able to catch up to them, or I'd swing once and hit them and then the second swing would miss. Not so much the case with the halberd, but maces, straight swords, most of those ended up missing on the second swing, which gave it time to run away and disappear. So yeah, had some pretty bad luck with that. So I think there might be one more item that I went to get, I can't remember. And then you get back to my lovely montage of deaths to the Lost Sinner. Since, I've cut out all of the time that wasn't spent walking from the bonfire down through to the boss fog. So it's ended up being a compilation of like 5 to 10 second fights where I've died horribly. Most of the time trying to heal after I've been hit from a single attack that's taken me down to a smidgen of health. I can't imagine how painful it would have been to keep on trying if I hadn't been made aware of the Cling Ring, or whatever they called it. I can't remember what they called it. Yeah. Still annoyed that chest got broken. I don't think there was anything particularly useful in it. You guys wake up, start attacking. The old sunrise. It's like, oh, I took a hit. The enemy's AI will now stand there, gaping at me for a few seconds. Oh, my sun ring went off, and now it's dead. Yeah. The Sun Ring and the Ring of Thorns did some insane damage. Okay, yes, I believe there's one more item, then I went back. So, and this one's not quite as well hidden, but it is just because, gotta break stuff. And there we go. Random pause for no reason. So yeah. I do think I went back from here, but my current action, yeah, there we go, I'm going back. I'll equip the shield since I don't need any additional weight when I'm fighting the Sinner, since I never use the shield to block anyway because of the damage it deals and the stamina it drains, so yeah. Okay, so now you can go back to enjoying me dying to the Sinner. So yeah. For those who don't know, this was obviously recorded during the during release, so this was all done before the any of the patches, after any that were released before the European launch. So yeah, the Sinner got nerfed and deals, if I recall correctly, has less health and deals less damage now. So yeah, and some of the nerfs that they did to PvE have annoyed me relatively, since should I miss it? I might get out. I think I might have actually went out of fight, since from the looks of things I died, recovered my soul, and yeah, it looks like I recovered because I had souls left there. so, and I had 0 souls, so I don't know. Either way, the fight probably is like that. So yes, now we begin, the strategy that seems to have worked every other time, which is me to strip naked and fighting like a man. Nothing more than my necessary. Taking extra rolls for unfortunately missed there. He has 2 jump attacks, which is, which made a bit of a difference. Sometimes it can come for a slam jump attack. Straight there. Try to bait him into it. Because that's sometimes the best way to heal against him. Into an attack to make him, try to convince him so I have to heal. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because either he doesn't follow up with an attack that was too fast for me to counter, or I'd end up screwing up my dodge and getting killed. And it generally works. Did not damage attack in this episode. Did help quite a bit for dealing it helps a lot for being able to and that's the main effect I really like to slide. First times I encountered that in this playthrough was dodging everything. I couldn't call it off. I kept failing at it and unfortunately died many people deaths to it. That was, I think, one of the first times where I actually started feeling damage. It began to feel like I could achieve victory in my current state. So I continued with it. The other attempts where I did worse and worse at that. At least for the illumination really did help me walk on. Yeah, that was the case. If you can see what happened there, it was me holding down the 2 buttons, turning to run, because I instead of after, which was stupid on my part. And that delayed roll really needed that. I could have probably got through there. The attack had already missed me. That somehow missed me, and I'm quite impressed. Yeah, my reaction was absolutely abysmal in that encounter. Every single swing that that I could have dodged easily, I got hit by, or alternatively dodged after it had missed me. Special kind of bad. Yeah, the other thing was never taking more than 1 swing, because ultimately it's like that. I can happily taken 2 or 3 swings and probably dealt more damage and not had any healing factor. Every time I did that, and it always ended up going badly, because I'd used up too much damage to dodge good. That lunge burst like that sometimes got me. It's an interesting thing. Unfortunately, it didn't quite enough to deal constantly. It was one quite interesting thing fighting this boss when some of the times, they just stop attacking, and it really led to a psychological battle. Yeah, that's I think the one friendly attack that actually hit me. But yeah, so the psychological warfare there is like being completely passive, so I could swing quite easily, but most of the time it would probably end up with him dodging, counter-attacking, and me taking 8 of 2. So, here we go with another end. I somehow managed to hold down the B button again. This is slightly to the right of the attack. Completely unexpected result from this attempt to do, although very short-lived as I die again. Yes, that was another thing. Because I was so busy sprinting through the level, sometimes I forgot to buff, which led to a minor loss. Really, the damage I deal is still pretty good without the buff, but when fighting an enemy like this, especially on the first playthrough, when, you know, he attacks fast, he hits hard, she kills me like that. Yeah, she surprised me too. It's item descriptions. I wouldn't have believed it otherwise. So yeah, anyways. Yeah. So when they're hitting as hard as they do, you want to kind of having the intelligence and having a buff on hand, so you can maximize your potential deal damage. Okay, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think this is one of the attempts that goes a little bit better. So, start off with that's the thing, is even when I've got zero salt, I tend to like getting a bit of weight because it feels like the spot that I'm going through has constantly back to me. With it's like rock. So yeah, swing from this, I managed to get a second swing off there without getting punished. At the point where it's not really worth it when, you know, I've got such a finite amount of Vestas to hit to kill me. I'd rather save, you know, my chance of getting hit for an actual genuine mistake rather than any attempts to trade those. Probably could have got a chance to kill there if I kill there. Probably would have been a chance to kill there. Attack had I'd been aware that she was about to grab back, as she did from the hidden flag. Whole time, right? So yes, that, as far as I'm aware, there's a guard actually doesn't carry when you try and attack. So I took the and it paid off since, you know, they're in a passive stand. Not hit by that yet. I just realized I got the right. So here I could have, however, consider I was not going to take my chance. I didn't low health a bit good. I thought I could have done it, and I had a better chance of attacking rather than healing, since it was as close as it was. But no, I should have taken my chance to heal. So then, now I'm going to leave you for a bit, since it's I've not got much to say about this. It's me dying over and over. Mostly through the same ways, doing the same tactics. You know, getting down rolls, dodging, stuff like that. But yeah, I shall see you a bit later. lost Cinder Cloud. It took me ages and was at this point the hardest boss I have to say I'd fought. And it was satisfying when I did this. So, also I believe this is the first of the Great Lords that I killed. So, continue through here, being ever cautious because of Dark Souls, who knows what they will throw at you. So, into the chest I go, Fragrant Branch of Yore, and an Elizabeth Mushroom, I believe. And I was interested to see how the Elizabeth Mushrooms went, considering what they were like last time. Fortunately, they're not quite like that anymore. Still do the same sort of thing, it's just, you know, not ridiculously overpowered. So the Primal Bonfire walks me back. I've got plenty of souls. Once again, another boss defeated by going naked and being able to roll really fast and really far. So, as
The soul and the curse. Your soul has grown stronger still. I only hope it brings you what you wish.
New piece of dialogue since I've apparently managed to continue the story at this point, gathering one of the souls required. So, I can't see what I'm putting my points into on the preview screen for this, because it's tiny for whatever reason. Let's see if I can make it bigger without crashing. Nope, I can't make it bigger. So, I can look closely and try and say, so. You can just see what I think it took me some time to actually decide what I wanted to do though, since first builds I like to be able to try out and use as much as possible to, you know, get a feel for it, and whilst at the same time I wanted to keep my other stats up so that I'm actually feeling capable of taking on the game, considering the fact that, you know, most enemies two-shot me no matter what. You know, the need for an, you know, higher equipment node so I can wear that armor and still roll as efficiently, or you know, endurance and health, so maybe I can roll more or attack more, and, you know, that sort of thing. Anyways, use a couple of souls and make two.
Bearer of the
Level up
lest this
something, I guess. I don't know, normally I'll probably level up with the open. Right, let's use the soul now. Oh, there we go, I'm getting used right there. Yeah, so I can use something, I guess. Not quite sure what yet. No, it's...
Oh, you again?
I believe she only just moved here.
Go on. It's on the cheap for you.
Yes, now infinite life damage. That's the main advantage of her at this point. Not that I use life that often. So, well, on this character, I think I actually used up most of my life damage in both
Everyone's
playthroughs.
so
But on every
stingy
character,
around
I think
here.
I've ended up having
Everyone's so
99
stingy everywhere.
to pick stuff up.
You're my only customer. Don't make me beg. Now buy something. We call this place Majula. Not too special if you ask me. It's just the place where everyone seems to end up. Lowly times these are.
Okay. Now where do I go from here? I can't remember. I think it's like at this point I know the areas in which I can go. I've not rested the bonfire though, so I really need to get my Estus back. I think I just noticed that. So now, since primal bonfires don't count as resting in a bonfire, it's okay. Technically, war points. So yes, if I recall, if I'm going where I think I'm going, I'm heading down here, which I would have probably completely missed, and this entire area of the game I'd have probably not encountered
Oh,
for
hello
ages.
there. An honor to see you again.
Yeah, if it hadn't
This
been for the people at
room
Darker
is not
Souls,
as it seems.
who are all
There are
strange
two, not one pathway is leading out. And only this lovely thing reveals the other path. And this, you lovely thing, only runs on miracles. Shall I provide you with one?
Yes. Few souls short of actually being able to move the path. So I think I use another soul and then continue onwards. Or I buy force and then use souls and...
May the power offer your
Okay, here we go. I think. I don't know. Okay, there we go. If there's one really awkward thing about, though, having a having footage whilst talking to somebody and not having the, what was being said recorded, is
Just speak up.
whilst normally
That's
I'd
why.
be able to, know what I was doing because it's what I would be thinking, how it would be continuing normally. Since I've also got directions from someone else going on at the same time, there's pauses and breaks and stops and such, which is generally a result of, it's generally a result of...
Go ahead,
That's
then.
what I was saying. It's generally a result of actually
May the power of
having this other
miracles
person,
be with you.
talking to you and giving you directions or discussing a specific topic or something you've noticed. So yes, and now from there, with this new path open to us, we continue on to encounter an awfully deep and dark pit. As well as a chair, which just so happens to have a guy in it.
The dark stirs. I see that the dark has sparked within you. My name is Falcon. I will trade with you. What do you need?
And here we get another trader. This time he has, and as soon as I scroll through them, dark miracles, or hexes as they are. So yeah, dark magic trader. So just generally look at their descriptions to see what they do, and then I think I use some more souls to be able to buy them. I can't remember for certain.
No matter.
Okay, yes, there we go. Spent souls. Got, I think, yeah, I buy one catalyst and dark orb and dark weapon. I think. Yes, dark weapon and, yeah, dark orb. So, oh, and resident soul apparently.
Come again.
So,
the dark is...
I came to the conclusion that dark weapon would be more powerful than great magic weapon because it had a higher stat requirement. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. What I do know is I prefer the look, as you shall be about to see. And I equip my new catalyst that I got, which is a bit heavier, but... And there we go. Lovely purple weapon. So, with my new purple weapon in hand, if I do what I think I do, I rest at the bonfire to replenish my cast, almost walk off the edge, and then continue on my way through into what everybody... Oh no, I don't even rest to replenish the casting. To what people call Beta Land. And for anybody who knows, or anybody who saw the Dark Souls beta will know, Dark Souls 2 beta, sorry, will know exactly why it's called Beta Land, because it's the area from the beta. Pretty obvious, pretty standard. Nothing really special there. However, as far as footage from the beta went, I didn't actually see that much in the grand scheme of things. I saw what the area looked like, I saw both the bosses, but didn't really pay much attention to the area itself or the monsters within or anything like that. So, that fire orb, yeah. And there falls a poison moss. Or at least I'm pretty sure it's a poison moss, which will be lost forever because I have no clue how to get them from down there or whether it would even be worth doing so. I try another fire orb because it's had a downwards arc, so I figured I'd be able to hit it, and there goes another poison moss. And for some reason I only put my weapon. Okay, so one thing I have definitely noticed is the number of enemies that have been, you know, stood around or lying around that have been enemies but not directly aggroing you or, you know, essentially trying to ambush you has been greatly increased. Since, well, especially in Forest of Fallen Giants, where I'm pretty sure half the enemies that attack you are lying down before they start attacking. But bad timing of me turning around to get back out and him attacking is perfect on his part. And my attacks to counteract him are on my part. But so Steve, because the old Sun Ring, you know, never likes to leave its host, let its host down, and blows up in his face, killing him in the most horrible manner. Okay, so I think I attuned some spells, or reattuned some spells. I think I get rid of the fire orb and replace it with dark orb. For two reasons. One, to see the damage difference between that and my Great Heavy Soul Arrow, and two, because it's got a further casting range than the fire orb, and as a result causes it to be considerably more useful when the main target I shot it at were butterflies, which the fireball couldn't hit because of the arm. Oh yeah, and I re-equip all my armor, because going naked is something that I only need to really do with bosses. And I like to hide the fact that you look absolutely ugly when you're dead. Especially after all your hair falls out. like the Shieldmonger is probably one character who I could cope with having that hair fall out and so on and so forth. Since it sort of adds to his look to a degree. If you've not seen his face, I'll probably show it eventually once he's finished. For one thing, I'm still working on the Shieldmonger to get it up to par, because the main problem with this, well, there's a few problems. Mainly, so, number one is the lack of a pierce shield, or a weapon to act like the pierce shield, primarily due to the fact that shields tend to be able to deal a lot more damage on their own, and as such become relatively viable weapons if used properly. However, that leads us on to the second problem, which is shields now operate in the same... Yeah, weapons operate the same way as in... you know, in both the left hand and right hand, and in general, and it just varies depending on which hand you've got it in, to which buttons are used for which options. So, this time the shield doesn't... Yeah, no, quite like that dodge back there. But yeah, so this time the shield in the main hand does not allow you to use regular attacks unless it's a shield bash from a great shield, which isn't particularly what I want to use on my Shieldmonger. I'd rather the Shieldmonger used as a smaller shield and combined with a set of ridiculous armor and ridiculous objects to add to the effect that the Monger is meant to impose. Current command of the game. There we go. I got it and then I moved. Somehow managed to get lucky there. So yes, so because of that, it means that I can block with the shield in my main hand and parry with it, but not actually attack with it unless I two-hand it. And on top of that, at least from what I've tested and tried, you can't do the shield riposte that was shown in the Dark Souls 2 demo by that one guy. And I'm not sure whether I'm doing anything wrong or what, but that there was definitely something I did wrong. I definitely not stood there and let him shoot me in the gut with an arrow and kill me. But anyways, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong with the shield ripostes, or whether they've been taken out, or whether it... Yeah, I don't know. What I do know is that can't pull them off, and as a result, it kind of makes it useless when, I can parry with the shield in my right hand, and the shield in my left hand, as well as block with them both, especially when combined with the fact that with the addition of guard break, it's going to be considerably more difficult to pull off the Shieldmonger's general tactic. So, it's a difficult position. There's a lot that I'm going to have to try and work with, a lot that myself and Beans will have to figure out and get to a point where it's, functional enough to be fun, serviceable enough to actually work, and ridiculous enough to be unique. That's what the Shieldmonger is all about. It's pointless not having a unique Shieldmonger. So yeah. Okay, so this time I go for the option of taking my torch with me. Something I think at this stage I've not actually used. Primarily because it's on a timer, and most areas have been light enough to not warrant the use of a torch. I can only really think of a couple of areas that are so dark that I want to have the torch to illuminate the areas to make it visible. Although the one thing that's quite cool with the torch is the fact that you can hit people with it and set them on fire for a short period of time. So anyway, with the light of the torch, I'm now able to actually lock onto my target and almost die anyway, because I'm not sure whether it's raining arrows or whether there's another archer that was also shooting me. It was one of the two. So yeah. Check, I think there's, yeah, anyone I can shoot, or I shoot them with both to see the damage difference. However, the Dark Orb does have more casts, which is pretty useful. And since neither of them are able to actually one-shot, it does make the Dark Orb I don't know why I extinguished the torch at that point. I'm assuming I thought that most of the threat was over, and so I could deal with anything else that came. But ultimately, there's a point I could have lit, which would have made the area more visible in general, and that would have worked. Yeah, I thought that was probably a corpse that would come out, but I think it was actually a corpse of one of the enemies I killed that I just forgot about. So anyways, continue onwards. Hit this because it does definitely look like a door. I mean, it's obviously a door, and it is. It's just actually opening that door is, you know, I think it was open from the other side, if I recall correctly. So, yeah. One of those thieves. Dispatch them quite quickly, since they're fast, and they hurt if they manage to get a combo off, but they generally tend to be quite easy when you can get off the first hit, which most of the time I could. So scout out this area at the end, it's a dead end, go down and trying not to deal any unnecessary damage from the fall, but at the same time trying not to fall off, and yeah. I think I got the poison loss because of the poison damage that was being dealt. Well, the poison build up, nothing actually got to poison. So, yeah, just preparing for the inevitable. Oh yeah, I got the silver cat ring, I think that was? Yeah, to actually make sure that I don't damage myself on the fall at all. And checking the area, it's back at the start, so I know to continue through here and to try another route, which resultantly had me jump down here again and go all the way round again for whatever reason. I guess I assume I missed something, or it's either that or, yeah, I think I assumed I missed something, or I accidentally slipped off. And I think for most things it was thinking I missed something. That jump's pretty tense, mainly because you land so close to the edge, and if you time it, if I were to go too far, I'd probably end up dying. So this is one door I remember from the beta. Look at that. And I was trying to figure out if I could get it open without actually, you know, getting hit by him. And that didn't go too well. That, however, did. So. Okay. So. Drop down here and find a bonfire. Hooray! No more having to go through a darkly lit room that has an archer that I need to use a torch to actually be able to hit with my magic. That can also fire fast enough to deal damage to me at the same time and almost kill me every single time. So now what we do is what any sane person would do and attempt to get an item that's perilously hidden on an edge that looks like you require to make a jump, which could very easily result in death. And of course there's an ambush, which isn't too much of a problem because the initial ambush missed. So, however, now comes the bit where you've got to pull off a jump to get onto a podium with an item on it. And yeah, first jump didn't go so well. And I noticed things I can't actually get it, so jump down here and find I can't get back up. However, there is this lovely, lovely hole into the earth, which just looks like it's the only way to go, so why not go down it? I noticed the poison and know that there's going to be another moth, so you know, put on the catalyst so I can shoot some dark orbs at it. And then I don't think I can get a good angle from here. Oh, there's another one there. Once again, awkward angles. That one. Take them out. Or not. Yeah, see something dark and ominous moving down beneath me, and so yeah, still trying to hit that butterfly, but just such an awkward angle. And I end up getting poisoned because I killed it before I used I figured that I'd just end up getting poisoned again. Okay. That's a perfect clothing attack. No problem there. And now I get treasure. Hooray! So, in this chest, this long lost chest in the bottom of a pit, the Huntsman's Copse, contains the rapier of a certain knight known as Rickard. Was it a prince? I can't remember. Either way, he was a warrior of some sort. And yeah, so Rickard's rapier. So I mentioned this to my friend because he just so happens to be rather fond of the of Rickard's rapier. He really enjoyed it in Dark Souls 1, so he was glad to hear that it existed here. Gave it a quick test with its attack. And yet I didn't do the R2 for whatever reason, even though Rickard's rapier is the most interesting thing is watching the R2. So, now here we are, at the bottom of the pit, with one secret door that is obviously a secret door to get out of, but I have no clue how to get out of. Yes. I tried hitting it. I tried hitting it a lot. If I recall correctly, the next 5 minutes is just me hitting this rock, rolling into this rock, doing everything I possibly can to this rock to try and get this rock to open to let me out of here. And if I recall correctly, my reactions on the mic at the time were along the lines of, I'm stuck. How the heck do I get out of here? And yeah, so essentially what you have to do is press A. That's it. You interact with it by pressing A instead of attacking it. However, it didn't particularly occur to me based on the fact that in Dark Souls 1, most of the hidden walls you just had to make contact with, and you know, through a roll or an attack, and that was the way to do it. But no, the case in this is you have to interact with it, and yeah. So I think that more or less summarizes up this section. I went back to Huntsman's Copse and found a couple of extra items, but still managed to miss some of the other openings because I pressed A to open them instead. I beat the losses enough after getting my rear end handed to me multiple times over and over again. I went to Huntsman's Copse and got some new spells, one of which can make my weapon purple, and die a couple more times there. And then I failed to make a jump and result to end up getting myself trapped in a pit where I can't get out because as far as I was aware, I had to attack the hidden door rather than press A. So, I hope you enjoyed watching. I shall see you in the next video, and now you can enjoy just the last couple of minutes of me still trying to open the door with everything I can possibly think of, which at this point has gone to shooting magic at it. Yeah. Well, anyways, until next time.